Hi, and welcome to the March edition of Rowlett on the Water on the Move. I'm Todd Gottel.
And I'm Brian Funderburg.
This show is produced entirely by city staff and can be seen on Rowlett's own television network, RTN 16. You know, you can see us all day long, Brian.
All day long.
All day long. And if you don't get RTN 16, you can find us on our YouTube channel by going to Rowlett Texas Video. And our favorite website?
Rowlett.com.
That's right, where you can find us under the streaming video page.
Yes, sir.
Lots of ways to find us, lots of ways to watch us, and we appreciate you joining for our program today. So, Brian, as we always begin with news, our news segment, and there's lots going on as usual. And one of the most important things, I think this is something we've been talking about for some time, is that we're going to begin with asking our citizens what they want, and we want them to give us their 2 cents. It's the Rowlett My Community, My Money, My Choice campaign, and it's your opportunity to engage and provide feedback with these decisions.
That's right, Mayor. And when we've run this campaign before, it's our opportunity to really engage our citizens and get their feedback and input on important decisions that the City of Rowlett has to make. This year we'll be talking about the possibility of increasing taxes. We'll also be talking about the possibility of reducing services. And at the end of the day, it's time to have an honest conversation about what our future looks like. And did you know that for only $2.73 a day, less than the cost of a tall cappuccino, Rowlett citizens receive incredible value for their tax dollars?
It really is amazing, John. You know, when we think about what it costs to provide the services, that's one of the things that really amazes me is the fact that we're able to do it for such a small cost. Because when you think about the amount of services, and a lot of services we normally don't think about, and you as citizens, you normally don't, you don't use those services, such as police or fire. But that's a real insurance policy, and in case you ever need to dial that magic number, they're there. And we start with the police department as an example. Just 58 cents per day. Priority 1 calls are answered within 10 seconds, Brian, 10 seconds, with emergency services dispatch within 45 seconds, and they provide a 6-minute response time. That's pretty amazing.
6 minutes, Mayor.
Yeah.
From start to finish, they're there on an average 6 minutes. And our fire department's the same way. For 44 cents a day, we have 72 firefighters working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That's 365 days a year, providing life and property-saving services to the 57,000 citizens in the 21 square mile area that Rowlett encompasses. Again, 6-minute response time.
Yeah, I know. It really is incredible. You know, Brian, it's interesting when we think about city services, we typically only think about police and fire in a lot of cases. And one of the areas that we usually forget about, but is critical to the functioning of the city, is our public works department.
Yes, sir.
24 cents per day, 24 cents. These men and women cover 636 miles of streets and alley infrastructure that support all the facets of transportation around our city. Not only do they maintain it, but they repair it, along with managing the daily 24/7 efficient movement of traffic throughout our city.
That's right, Mayor. And not only public works, but parks and recreation. Another thing people don't always think about or appreciate in the way that they should. For 19 cents a day, we have 30 current and future parks, trails, green spaces, free year-round downtown special events, full-service fitness center, and dozens of convenient classes at our community center. That's huge.
And it really is a state-of-the-art facility. It's a really nice facility as well. But when you think about parks, you think about public works, I mean, they're really critical elements of the city, and that's what gives us that quality of life when you go through, because that helps keep the community really nice looking. And of course, we can't forget our friends at the library.
No.
This, to me, is just really shocking. But when you think about what it costs to run the library every day, this is something that is widely used. It's widely loved in the community. 6 cents per day. 6 cents. 96,036 books, audiobooks, we have ebooks, we've got DVDs, CDs, magazines, newspapers. They're all available to borrow. And most importantly, they're promoting, of course, literacy through programming such as weekly story times and the summer reading program. And last year we had 2,000 participants in the summer reading program. Isn't that amazing?
That's huge.
That's huge, and that's 6 cents per day.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, these services are no longer sustainable at the rate of $2.73 per day. And I want to talk about that for just a second, and then I want you to kind of talk about the tax rate and things like that. But, for years we've gone on council, and I think many of us ran with this philosophy of no new taxes, we're going to cut, we're going to cut, we're going to cut. We have gone through, with the help of staff, and the reason I want to talk about this is one thing, of course, we talk about staff, but it's another thing for the council to talk about it. And staff has done a tremendous job of reducing our costs across the board. They've just done a really great job at looking at every line item in the budget and saying, is this really necessary or not? And we have reached a point where we've done things like put $4 million into a cash CIP plan. $4 million. That came right out of the top of the money. That did not just magically appear from somewhere else. We've had a decline in property values over the years. All of these things attribute to less money in revenue, and we're doing, in some cases, providing the same, if not better, services to the citizens. So it's really critical as we get into this discussion and we think about, the word sustainability. That's something that we've worked really hard on council to talk about. What can we build that's going to last a long, long time? And at the rate of $2.73 per day, we just can't do it at that rate anymore, Brian.
And you're right, Mayor, and we can't. And as we talk about the tax rate, here's an interesting fact. Did you know that Rowlett citizens have not seen a tax increase in 9 years?
That's right, 9 years, Brian.
And Rowlett residents are paying an average of $118 less per year in property taxes today than just 7 years ago. And let's talk about, just for a minute,
sure.
Mayor, what has happened during that time? Well, first and foremost, we had what we call the Great Recession.
That's right.
And whereas it impacted each city a little differently, for us, that meant a reduction of $1.7 million a year in our general fund. That over time we had to eat. At the same time, we moved $4 million to cash.
Well,
CIP.
and that's what I don't think a lot of people understand, because from looking at it from the outside in other words, if you're just a citizen, you're not involved in the daily works of government, you go, wow, 9 straight years, nice job. But that's 9 straight years with taking $4 million out and putting it into an infrastructure that's, well, we call it the cash CIP, but it's really to help fund our infrastructure. We've had a decline in the property values that results in $118 less per household. Think about that. Yeah. And yet we're still providing the same level of services 9 years later. So it's really incredible.
It is. And so why is change necessary now? This is one of the things that we'll have to explain to the community when we do the My Rowlett campaign. But as a community, Rowlett is aging. Subdivisions built in the 1990s now have infrastructure needs that need significant repair. These repairs require funding for ongoing maintenance that are not currently funded in our tax rate, Mayor.
That's right. And the playgrounds that were built 20 or 30 years ago, in the height of our growth cycle, have reached the end of their useful life, and they need to be replaced as well. And the replacements of the playgrounds require funding, again, which is not included in the tax rate.
That's right. And our housing values have continued to decline. And this decline further exacerbates the continuing reduction in property tax revenue generated for ongoing operations and maintenance. And here's the thing, Mayor. When we say housing values continue to decline, we hope, we think, we really, really wish that this may have been the year that we hit the bottom, and at this point we can look forward to a better future. But until they actually do, we don't know for sure.
Well, and I'm frustrated myself. As a homeowner in this community, and I talk to a lot of different homeowners, we want the property values to go up. I didn't buy my house to lose money every year. It's very difficult when I think about putting money back in my house. You want to put $10,000 worth of flooring in or something. I'm thinking, am I going to get that money back out of the house? And, of course, the hope and prayer is you will, because we have a good builder. We live in a great city, #1 best place to move to in the U.S. And so all of these things tell us that we're on the right path. We have DART, we have the George Bush Turnpike, all of these great things, lots of economic development going on, but the bottom line is we're paying less than we ever have, and we really are the best value in really the entire Metroplex.
Mayor, and I agree with that, and we're going to talk about all these issues and much more as the Rowlett My Community, My Money, My Choice campaign hits the road. This April, we're going to have a series of meetings all over Rowlett, and we want your input. On the screen, you'll see a list of the meetings in the month of April. We have chosen locations at every quadrant of Rowlett to make sure every citizen has a chance to voice their opinion. You can find these meeting dates and times on Rowlett.com. Each meeting will generally last about an hour, and we'll use our interactive voting technology.
Can I add something too?
Sure.
For those that are watching, if you have your friends and neighbors that don't watch RTN 16, please send them an email. Go out and talk to them. Invite them to the meetings. We want their input. The council seriously values their input. These are hard decisions that have to be made. The question is, do we increase taxes to maintain a certain level of services, or increase levels of services, or do we decrease those levels of services? But we want your input. None of these decisions are easy. And at this point, we don't even know what type of a tax increase. It could be a few cents. It could be a lot more than that, depending on what type of services that are valued. We have continued to cut and you look at things like library, you look at things like parks, those things create a real value in this community. And every time we seem to have had a cut, we always have to cut in those particular areas. But we're at the point where you really can't cut anymore.
That's right.
So we're looking at things like police and fire, and so it's such an important point that if you have an opportunity to go out and talk to your friends, talk to your neighbors, invite them to the meetings so they can learn a little bit more about what we're doing in Rowlett, what it costs to operate the city, and provide us with the necessary feedback that we need in order for us to have a successful campaign.
And as we take this journey this year to determine what kind of community we want Rowlett to be, the City Council and our Rowlett citizens will angst, Mayor. They will angst over what is the right answer. Higher taxes and fees or reduction in the services residents currently enjoy and have become used to. We can no longer continue to make do waiting for PGBT and DART light rail to arrive. They are now here, and the ability to fully bridge the financial gap no longer exists. And as a result, the City Council and you, the Rowlett citizens, now have to make strategic decisions to determine what our community's future will be.
Now, Brian, I want to add one thing about that because you said two really key points here, PGBT and DART. First and foremost, PGBT, it's here. You're absolutely right. It's been a great asset to the city, but you're not going to drive major, you're not going to drive major economic development into the city in terms of businesses and things like that. Just simply, in a lot of ways, Brian, it has to do with the fact it's a toll road.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot, and they'll say, "Why don't you put a big, in this case, like a trucking type facility or something like that up in the North Shore area?" Well, it's a toll road. So it becomes a huge convenience factor for those that are going to work every day that want to ride on it. It's great and easy access to get from one part of the city to, of course, the other. But the bottom line at the end of it is a toll road. So although it provides great access and will bring some economic development to our city, it is not going to provide that business economic development that we'll say a 30 would have just because of the accessibility that's there and the cost. And then the other side is DART. DART is a long-term investment.
Yes,
just because the train is here doesn't mean you're going to have all this economic development tomorrow. It is a huge convenience to all of those that ride DART every day. And we see that by the lot. Our lot is about 90% full right now. It's pretty amazing, actually, when you think about it. And so we see all the folks that ride on that station or that ride on that train and go to that station every single day that love the access. But the economic development, it's on its way. It's just going to take some time. And every year, as we make that investment and we pay DART, that's a penny of our sales tax, that's money we can't take back because DART is here. And the bottom line at the end of the day, long term, it's going to provide us with a future that many of the other cities that don't have DART today are not going to have the opportunity for.
Well, and that's right. So the Rowlett My Community, My Money, My Choice campaign is your opportunity to engage and provide feedback with these decisions. Look for the flyer coming to your mailbox this month.
Well, that's a great topic. And our next topic, Brian, in the news is really information you need.
When you need it.
When you need it. Connect Rowlett.
Connect
That's right.
Rowlett.
You're not very excited about this. I think we should use this
Actually,
again.
this is
All right,
pretty
let me,
cool
let me
stuff.
try this one more time for you, okay? Information you need when you need it.
Connect Rowlett.
Never mind, okay, I'll do it. Connect Rowlett. This is so great. And then Connect Rowlett is the new city-to-citizen notification service that puts Rowlett residents in control of the information they receive and how they want to receive it.
That's right, Mayor, and it's really cool. This mass notification system is designed to quickly alert citizens about emergencies and other events of interest in our community. Connect Rowlett will send voice messages to warn the public of impending disasters or any situation that would be deemed an emergency, as well as targeted community notifications such as road closures, missing persons, dangerous suspects in the neighborhood.
And the citizens, and this is the best part about it, and you're doing good. I like your excitement level there. It's really good. All right,
better.
citizens opt into, we should almost do this whole segment over again. This is great. Citizens opt into the types of community notifications they wish to receive. Now, I want to say that again. Citizens opt into the types of community notifications they wish to receive. The information via phone, text messaging, or email, which means you're not just going to get this plethora of information that comes out there. They're actually going to help sign up for this.
Mayor, you mean they get a choice?
They get a choice. That's right. That's
Wow, that's pretty cool. Isn't that novel?
Now you should get more excited about choices, you know. So citizens may also choose what types of mass notifications they'd like to receive, like severe weather and community events, just to name a few. No one should ever receive messages that have no interest to them. Now, I do want to plug this because I do think if you sign up, you need to make sure that you get severe weather and different things like that, because it is really critical to do that.
You know, and citizens can create their own individual safety profile. They can include things like health conditions, For example, you might put a family member who needs oxygen or who's on a dialysis or who has Alzheimer's or severe allergies, pets, vehicles, emergency contacts, mobile phone numbers, home access points. All of this information allows our first responders to be prepared and knowledgeable when a call to 911 is placed. To sign up for Connect Rowlett Emergency Notification Service, simply fill out the online form on rowlett.com.
Now, one of our big stories in the news that continues to be a story month after month after month, I know we sound like a broken record, but our Stage 3 water restrictions are still in effect,
Yes, sir.
and there's no end in sight. I will tell you that this is something that is very serious across the entire Metroplex. It's not just the city of Rowlett, it is all over.
You know, and it really is scary. Right now, landscape irrigation is limited to once every 2 weeks, and that's based on the physical address with no watering between 10 a.m. and 6 p.m.
And you can find your watering day by, of course, going to
Rowlett.com
and look for the last digit of your street address for the watering chart.
That's right. And since spring is here, it's planting season again. We're here to remind you to be wise with the flowers and plants you choose, since you can only water once every 2 weeks. To help you out with some of the Smartscape ideas for your yard, there's a great website called Texas Smartscape.
Their interactive website, www.texassmartscape, that's TX-SMART, S-M-A-R-T, scape, S-C-A-P.com, walks property owners step by step through designing a beautiful garden using over 200 landscape plants, shrubs, grasses, and other trees that are native or adapted to our regional climate and local conditions.
That's right, Mayor, and the plants they recommend will stand up to the hot, dry summer much better than many species commonly planted. Using these plants conserve water during drought conditions, and they look great with less effort. They also attract the hummingbirds and butterflies that call North Central Texas their home.
Now, I will tell you, this is really important because there are many times, how many times have you bought flowers and you spend a lot of money to
Yes,
put
you
flowers out, and no matter what I do, even if one year I even went and had the sprinkler system, the guy came out and did all the magic stuff to make sure everything was getting like watered properly. Well, it wasn't getting watered enough, and I lost half the flowers. I'm so frustrated because what happens is you get these drought conditions, and it just, you know. So I'm excited about this because I'm gonna be able to go and find the right plants and put them in, and hopefully we'll be able to have a great season without having to worry about how much, or I should say, be able to put the flowers in and not worry about how much water that these
Mayor,
plants are getting.
I think it's just you. My plants usually grow very well, and they last a long time. Once again, that website is www.texsmartscape.com.
I should be, since you don't have any problem with this, I'll say
and
it.
remember,
That website is Texas Smartscape, because he doesn't have to worry about water. TexasSmartscape.com, and you also have a green thumb, right? Yeah. Okay. And so, of course, remember that watering is limited to once every 2 weeks. You can leave now, okay?
Okay.
All right.
Thank you,
that water is limited to once every 2 weeks in Rowlett. So that's TexasSmartscape.com. Please check it out, as I will be doing the same, and happy planting.
Yes.
This could not have happened to one of my most favorite people in the city.
As many of you know, our Managing Director of Public Works, Jim Proce, was recently promoted to Assistant City Manager. So we thought it'd be the perfect opportunity to do a get-to-know-him interview with Jim. So here's Jim in his own words.
Hi, I'm Jim Proce. I'm the new Assistant City Manager for the City of Rowlett. I've been fortunate enough to work in local government for well over 30 years, and I've been with the City of Rowlett since June of 2011. Originally, I came here as your Public Works Director, and recently had the opportunity to get to serve in a greater capacity. I'm really looking forward to doing this new position and all the things that go along with that.
Well, as an Assistant City Manager, I've been tasked with being somewhat the Chief of Operations. And what that looks like is overseeing the departments like Public Works, Parks, Utilities, Development Services, and some of the other smaller divisions that you may not know about, like Fleet, that takes care of all the vehicles for the police and fire department and things of that nature. What I love about this opportunity is to serve this community that I now call home. I've been living in Rowlett for about 3 years now, and originally when I was looking for someplace else to go, I've told this story before, is my wife and I were looking for a better place to live. And so we Googled that, and up pops Rowlett, Texas. So I looked, and there was a job open for Public Works Director. So that's what got me here. One of the Money Magazine best places to live, and so we call this home. Our kids have have enjoyed our time here. They're well adjusted. One of them graduated from Rowlett High, the other one's still there. And so we've really been having a good time in this community. And but what's great about the job is the variety of different things that I get to do on a day-to-day basis. Getting involved with the stuff that is near and dear to my heart, serving the community, working with public works, working with parks, working with new development opportunities that are coming here from every day, and all the exciting things that go along with that. So this is Rowlett, this is my home, and I'm happy to be here, and I'm happy to serve.
Well, it was really great to hear from Jim. Could not have happened to a better person. It's exciting. He really deserved it.
He did, Mayor.
Don't get too excited. I'm happy you're here, Jim, okay? But let's talk about Rowlett on the Move. So, you hired him. You did great.
I did.
No regrets, I hope.
No,
I'm teasing with you. Jim's a terrific guy. But we have a lot going on in Rowlett. Not only do we have a new assistant city manager, but we've got economic development opportunities as well. And one of the latest economic development opportunities was the new groundbreaking for D.R. Horton for the new facility. That happened on February 28th, the end of last month. So here's a video recap of that groundbreaking and the events. DHI Title and DHI Mortgage, and we're very, very excited to have them in our community. D.R. Horton has been such a great member of our business community, and we're so excited to have them here. We are so excited to be here today to be part of this great event. I'm Mayor Todd Gottel. Before we begin, I'd like to take an opportunity we have some special guests here I'd like to recognize. I do not have everyone on the list, and I know that Mark's going to be speaking here just a little bit, and he'll introduce others from the D.R. Horton team. But we have Derek Ammerman, the D.R. Horton DFW East Division President in the back. Welcome. Scott Wilburn, the D.R. Horton DFW East Division Vice President. There's Rosie Woodley, Mark Helms, Brad Ayers. We have from our state representative, Cindy Burkett is here today. Is Shelley Scruggs here? Shelley, welcome again. And then Shelley's the District Aide for State Senator Corona's office. We have Council Member Tammy Dana Bashan is here. We have Councilwoman Debbie Bobbitt is here. Our City Manager Brian Funderburk. We have Diane Lemons with our economic development. She's the president of our Rowlett Chamber of Commerce, and Stacy Thomas is the chairman of the board of the Rowlett Chamber as well. And again, I'd like to take an opportunity to of course welcome. We have a lot of our staff here, and there are a lot of additional folks from our business community as well as D.R. Horton. This project is a very important project to us because it really represents economic development for our city. You know, we have worked very hard over the years to properly plan for development of the city, and we're so excited to finally see it come to fruition. And this particular project itself, I'd like to give you some history, a little bit about the facility itself. But D.R. Horton DFW, this is their division office for their East Division. It was built in 2003, and this will be the new DHI title and mortgage building. Well, so much for that. I promise this is not an indication of the project, it's the wind today. It's the joy of living near the lake. That's exactly right. So, all right. This is the third building on this property, and D.R. Horton has been in growth mode for the past decade. And the office has grown from 15 people in 2003 to over 50 people as of 2014. So, impressive growth, and we certainly want to continue that relationship. And thank you for choosing Rowlett to build this building in. At this time, I'd like to introduce our guest speaker. We have Mark Helms, as I mentioned just a moment ago. Mark is going to be heading up this office, and he is the DHI Mortgage Southwest Area Manager. And so at this time, I'd like to introduce Mark, and he's got some comments about the building as well. So, Mark, welcome.
Thanks for coming out today. Just a couple of additional introductions and some background on some of the gentlemen and ladies that were introduced previously. Derek and Scott run the builder division. Derek runs the division, basically the area, Oklahoma and South Louisiana, as well as the Metroplex here. And then Scott is the division vice president and runs the Dallas local area here. Brad Ayers, mentioned previously, runs the Dallas office, also handles Oklahoma City as well. And then his personnel that are on staff here, Jack Davis in the back is his sales manager, manages the loan officers in this facility, and Audrey Fuller in the back middle there manages our operations team for this facility. Dusty Jones in the back is the project coordinator for the building and will be supervising its construction and was instrumental in helping us put these other buildings on the ground here as well. The information provided was correct. The growth has occurred rapidly throughout the years, and it's been fun to watch. I remember when I came to work here, there was 9 people who were stuffed into a small office in Garland, and we finally got to build here in Rowlett and got this nice facility here to my right. It was a whole new world opening up for us. And then 190 opens up now, and we've got the building that's going to be facing 190. It's going to provide us with a great opportunity for visibility as people drive through on the way in and out to work. So it should be very interesting in what it does for us in terms of our ground traffic. Rosie Woodley on the back right, the white sunglasses there, will be moving in with us, and will be occupying the bottom left-hand side of the building with her title operations. Jack will take the bottom right side of the building. We'll be managing the loan officers from there, and Audrey will have this top floor for our processing center. Being able to have that much space is going to give us an opportunity to be able to process for more of the branches throughout the country and provide an opportunity for more employment here in Rowlett. We appreciate you doing this for us, coming out and visiting with us today, and look forward to great things.
So at this time, we're going to begin with the groundbreaking ceremony itself. I know we have a lot of shovels up here. I think we have 14 of us, and others are certainly welcome to join us as well. We'll be doing that for a photo op. Jim, I understand we have some hard hats as well, so. And then Whitney's camera, go ahead. You good? Okay. All right, here we go on 3. 1, 2, 3, there we go.
Mayor, if I hadn't said this recently, you are really looking good.
Thank you, Brian. You know, the whole next segment has just been a lot of fun. You know, since the new year, I've been working with the wellness coordinator, Amanda Mullaney, and she has helped me by starting to live a healthier lifestyle. And this is something that I honestly felt like, look, if I could do it, anybody could do it, because I was honestly the worst. I would go and I would eat 3 Rice Krispie treats before I go to bed, and every time I went to the doctor, of course, what are the first thing they do? They ask you to get your height and weight, and they ask you to stay on the scale. And what do I notice? It kind of keeps creeping up a little bit, a pound here, 2 pounds here. And I thought, oh, it's only 200. Then it's 202. Then it's 204. And you look at it and go, okay, I'm going in the wrong direction. Because I remember at one point, you know, long time ago, I was like 160 pounds. And I'm like, okay, we are definitely going in the wrong direction. And things like my blood pressure, they were kind of creeping up a little bit as well. And I always had perfect blood pressure. So the first of the year, we started off with this segment, just talking about healthy living and let's improve our lifestyles. Because that's something we usually make on a New Year's resolution. And everybody talks about saying, I'm going to go work out and I'm going to get more healthy. Well, I made a commitment to the citizens just as part of, as part of the show was really to say, if I can do it, anybody can do it. And let's talk about what healthy living looks like. So we've been working out, we've been eating healthier, and as many of you seen on our show since January, you've seen me working out, of course, losing weight and eating healthier. And eating the right thing is just so critically important. I cannot talk, it's all about choices. And here's the interesting part. I have a great friend, a neighbor of mine, they use Jenny Craig. Jenny Craig is wonderful. It really works well along with these other type of programs that are out there. But what it does, it teaches you how to buy food. They teach you about healthy, but they always go and buy the food. And I thought, well, I could do that, but I said I wanted to learn how to shop for myself because I love to cook. And so I thought it was important. I said, well, let me try this route first. And with the help of Amanda, we've actually gone out, we've helped prepare some meals. And so the interesting thing is the part that eating is the right thing. Well, of course, eating the right thing is so important. And sometimes it's tough to know what you should be buying at the grocery store. So this month, Amanda and I, of course, have gone shopping, and she's helped me pick out some foods. And she's going to talk about the right types of foods that are suited for not only my diet, but just our overall well-being. So let's watch the video and see how we've done.
Well, Mayor, it's making a difference.
Thank you very much.
And we are back, Ryan, and we're in the kitchen with Amanda. Amanda Mulaney is our wellness coordinator for the city of Rowlett. Welcome back again.
Thank you.
And we'd love to have you here because for the past couple months, we've really been talking about healthy living and what kind of things can we do to help improve our lifestyles. And so, if you recall back in January, we kind of gotten into the whole like workout routine and how that was going. And so we're here today in the kitchen to kind of talk about healthy choices. There are many times we go to the supermarket and you're going through and we pick things only to find out afterward that that was probably a bad choice, because it's all about choices when we go to the grocery stores.
Yeah.
You don't have one type of cereal, you have many types of cereal. You don't have one type of vegetable, you have many types. And so it's really about picking out the right ones. So today Amanda's going to be helping us to make the right choices and kind of talk about some of my choices and tell us what's good or bad about those as well. So welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So why don't we start off with, I guess, the progress piece of it first and foremost. I know you kind of wanted to talk about that. I was a little apprehensive to talk about it, but I've done pretty well.
Excellent. You started in at 203, and today you weighed in at 190, so huge weight loss there.
In what period of time? Basically, what, about 2 months?
2 months.
About a 2-month period of time. So that's actually really good considering.
Yeah.
Now, I've been doing some workout, but mainly I have to tell you, I've really, and you're laugh, but I've changed the way I've been eating. At least I think I have.
Yes, you
but
have.
today we're here to look at some of those choices. Like many of us, we try to make healthy alternative choices, but it's interesting, a lot of times if you go out and pick out something to eat, you say, what exactly do I buy? And it's even worse when you go to the grocery store, as we're going to find out today, the difference about making a good choice or even a better choice.
So many options.
Absolutely. So let's start off with breakfast, because that's really the most important part of the
Yes.
meal. And so tell us what we have here today.
Okay, we have a few different options. Let's go ahead and start with the Greek yogurt and the regular yogurt. We have the Yoplait Light yogurt compared to our Greek yogurt. This brand is Chobani. There's many different brands of Greek yogurt. This is the one that I think you and I have liked best
Yes.
out of the ones that
Now,
we've tried.
I have to tell you, I'm not a big Greek yogurt fan. So a lot of times I go to the store and I think I'm doing a real good job, and I was like, hey, I bought some yogurt this time at the store. But what you find is that yogurt is not all equal, or yogurts are not all equal. So it's really about making the right choice within the yogurt section itself. So the Greek yogurt is really the most appropriate choice when you're trying to choose a yogurt, correct?
Yes. The Yoplait Light, you'll see, only has 5 grams of protein, whereas your Greek yogurt has 13 grams of protein.
So a big difference.
Big
Absolutely
difference.
it is. Now, I will tell you that this has been my choice, and we went to the store this morning and I said, this is the brand of yogurt, and Amanda immediately grabs the other kind of yogurt, same
Yes.
brand, and I thought, but why? And she said, well, Todd, go ahead, explain.
So this Chobani Greek yogurt is the plain non-fat.
And
So
I prefer the fruit flavor myself.
yeah, so with the fruit flavored, you have the processed sugar, the fruit on the bottom. So if we compared our sugar levels, mine, that is the plain non-fat, has 4 grams of sugar, whereas yours has 17 grams of sugar.
Big difference.
Big difference.
Part of what you've taught me is that it's really important you have about 30 grams of protein per meal, correct?
Yeah, depending on the individual,
Okay.
their weight,
Okay.
their weight loss goal. There's more to it than just saying you need 30 grams.
Okay.
But ideally for you, yes, 30 grams for your main meal. So that's what we're focusing on for breakfast.
Okay, so I've mainly been focused on, I start with some yogurt. I typically have some oatmeal to go along with that, and there's lots of different oatmeal choices. Again, we can buy the little packed or the small bags of oatmeal. They're instant oatmeal. Looks good, smells good, tastes good. But then you look at the sugar content in some of that, and it's extraordinarily high. And so I'm trying to go back and say, all right, what choices do I make again? So let's talk about this. Now, this is one of my favorites. This is a company called Modern Oats. What's really cool about these, it's a cup. The top snaps off, you peel back and you add your hot water, and you're ready to go. Really good, easy, on-the-go type breakfast. I typically take a handful of fruit and mix that with this as well, just for a little bit more added flavor. But what amazes me is you really don't need sugar with this stuff. But from what I understand from what you told me, again, this already has sugars in it. So maybe you can kind of talk about this versus the traditional, the instant oats that are here by Quaker.
With the instant oats, first and foremost, the serving size that you're going to read on the can is half a cup, whereas this is about a full cup. So we kind of got to compare
Okay.
in that sense. But with the modern oats, you're looking at 20 grams of sugar in this 1 cup. And like you said, there's already fruit mixed into that, whereas this doesn't have the fruit. But in half a cup of the instant oats, just plain regular, there's only 1 gram of sugar.
Okay.
So you could add in your own fruit, just like I said I've done with the Chobani Greek yogurt. You could cut up your own strawberries, kind of have that natural sugar from the fruits,
Okay.
and add that in that way.
And I think one of the things that you're looking at is not just how many sugars you're getting, but how do I do things like reduce my cholesterol, and how do I make better choices overall for my entire body.
Absolutely.
And that's one thing that we've seen what's been an interesting journey for me. When we look at the body fat percentages, at one point I was almost a 30% body fat, and now we're down to about a 23% or
Yep.
something like that, or 24%, which is a pretty significant drop.
That's a huge drop.
Considering. And now there's a little bit of exercise tied in that, but it's really about making better choices when you eat. Now let's talk about one of my favorites, and things that is a traditional in every meal that you go out, whether you go out for breakfast at IHOP or whether you cook it at home, but eggs. And so you of course you can't go wrong with an egg. Scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, all that great stuff, right?
Yes, eggs are excellent source of protein. The only thing that I would caution you on is the yolk is very high in cholesterol. So if you have any issues with your cholesterol level, make sure that you are mixing maybe 3 egg whites and 1 full egg,
Okay.
so that you're not getting as much cholesterol.
Now let's talk about your choice, one of your favorites that are there,
Yes.
because going back again to the eggs, and that is using the whole 100% egg whites.
Yes, and this is what I use for breakfast in the morning. I usually do about 3/4 of a cup to a full cup. That's equivalent to about 4 large egg whites.
Now what's interesting is I've gone to several restaurants lately, and I've noticed egg whites on the menu. So it's becoming a more popular choice, just a healthy alternative to be able to go out to eat and then to have that as well.
Yeah, just because of the cholesterol issues, and a lot of us have elevated cholesterol levels, so you're not going to get the cholesterol out of the egg whites as you do out of the. As we've been talking about carbs and sugars and protein, it's also important to keep an eye on your sodium levels. You don't really want to be above 2,400 milligrams of sodium a day. You're also drinking what, 13 cups of water?
That's what you told me, 13 cups of
13
water.
cups of
Now,
water.
very, very simple. I fill up the gallon, because one day I took the time to measure what does 13 cups look like, so I'm not sitting there every day measuring out, and it literally is equivalent to a gallon jug of water. So I start in the morning, at the end of the day, my goal is to have that finished. And there's some days I don't get through it, to be very honest, but most of the days I do a real good job, but that's all I drink. And I've actually acquired a really good taste for water, so it's amazing.
And that too is helping with your sodium levels, flushing the sodium out of your system
Absolutely.
too, that you're getting from your foods.
All right, so let's go on to our vegetable choices. So
Okay.
as we look at that, a lot of times we go and we're walking through the produce section, and I'm thinking, I'm buying some produce. I'm doing good, right? And what I've learned is that not all choices necessarily are the best choices. So let's talk about our salads, and let's talk about our produce area, because one of the things I'd love to do, people go through there and they're like, I'm going to eat more healthy, I'm going to go buy some produce. They go into the fruits and the vegetables and they buy a whole bunch of stuff, and they think they're doing really well. In some cases we're not. So one of the things that I discovered, but I love lettuce, and I've been eating a lot of salads lately. I think I'm doing a great job. But after having a conversation with you, I realized that some of the choices are not the best choices, specifically the iceberg lettuce. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that and why it's not as good of a choice as, we'll say, the spinach leaves or the kale?
The iceberg lettuce itself is just mostly made up of water, doesn't really have any nutritional value
Right.
to it. Whereas the spinach and the kale, you're going to get more of the vitamins, the nutrients, a little bit higher in iron, your vitamin A, B.
Now, but a good alternative though are the spinach leaves. Like when I've gone to Subway and gotten their sandwiches, you can choose to have spinach leaves on there, and I've actually gotten that before. And the spinach leaves, what I like is there's a lot of different ways to prepare it. So you can eat it just plain, I know it's fresh, and just put it on a sandwich, or if you want to, you can actually heat it up in a pan, and it actually just with a little bit of water, steam it up basically, and becomes really good cooked spinach. And I understand from a nutritional value, that's even better than the raw spinach itself.
Yeah, and same with the kale. You can cook the kale as well, or you can just use it in a salad as you would your spinach. If you're going to cook it, I'd recommend washing it really well,
Okay.
spraying it with a little bit of vegetable oil, maybe putting a little bit of seasoning on it, and then sticking it in the oven, and you're going to get that kind of crunchy taste to the kale.
Okay.
put it in smoothies, just different alternatives, but you're going to have better benefits nutritionally from the kale and the spinach.
All right, now let's talk about a couple more things. How about our vegetables here? So if you want to come over here, we'll look at these. But of course, we got tomatoes. You cannot go wrong with tomatoes. Love, love, love tomatoes. And then we have avocados as well. Avocados are good, right?
Avocados are great.
Okay.
Avocados are high in your healthy fats, so your monounsaturated fats and your polyunsaturated fats. A lot of us don't get a lot of the healthy fats. You can find that in the avocados, in your nuts, some fishes as well. So avocado is an important staple in your diet.
And then finally, of course, my favorite are baked potatoes. But I understand it's sort of a big no-no, because you said anything that was white was sort of bad, correct?
Well, anything
Was
white
not-
is going to raise your blood sugar levels very rapidly.
Right.
So sticking to like a sweet potato, whole grains is not going to have such a drastic spike in your blood sugar levels.
And these are good. I have to tell you, I was never a big fan of sweet potatoes. Now, you either are, depending on how you grew up, and I grew up in Philadelphia. Don't hold that against me, guys. But having said that, we always had traditional potatoes with every meal. Down south, you eat a lot of sweet potatoes. And I've really acquired a good taste for sweet potatoes. And there's a lot of great ways to prepare these. So if I have a choice between the two, you pick the sweet potato. Why? Because it's just better for you all the way around.
Yeah, and they're going to be higher in your folate, your vitamins, like we talked about just with the kale and spinach. So when you're looking at it carbohydrate, protein-wise,
Right.
they're about the same amount of calories. But when you're looking at the benefits from the vitamins and the nutrients you're getting out of it, the sweet potato is the way to go.
So let's talk about something that everybody loves, because we all love spaghetti. And you
Yes.
cannot go wrong with spaghetti. And so, you went around and you rooted in my pantry a little bit, and you came up and of course you look at the pasta and you go, this is not a good choice. So when we're out today, tell me about what a good choice would look like, an alternative to the traditional pasta that was there.
Like you said, we all love pasta. I would recommend going with a whole wheat pasta. Whole wheat is going to have higher...
I'm laughing for just a second because it was so funny. I'd pick something up and she'd go, no, that's a bad choice. No, that's a bad choice. So part of this is really a learning experience for all of us as you go. And it takes a little bit of time because once you get used to it, you at this point, because you've been doing it a long time, can run in the store and grab things and then you're ready to go. I have to take a little bit more time because I'm looking at the label itself on the back and make determinations. So whole wheat pasta. So tell me
Whole
about
wheat
that.
pasta, just like with your whole wheat bread, anything whole grains is going to be higher in fiber, have the health benefits for cardiovascular disease, and again, it's not going to spike your blood sugar levels very rapidly as in the white bread, the white pasta.
Now,
so whole
and
grains.
I think I did a really good job, didn't I? I got whole wheat bread, right?
Yes, let's talk about your bread. Bread can be very misleading. It says wheat, so therefore you think...
That's what I bought. I bought wheat bread here.
So you think that it's wheat. But when you come back to look at the ingredients, and the first ingredient is not whole wheat or whole grain, it's not truly wheat bread.
Okay.
So we will be getting new bread.
We will be
you.
getting new bread from me. That's great.
Yes.
But, part of this is, again, it's for all of us. As we take this journey together, it's really about a learning experience. And a lot of it's education. And I'm not educated on the area of really what to buy. I love to cook. I love to eat, like a lot of people do. And it's really about trying to make better choices, not only when you go out, but better choices when you go to the supermarket and when you cook at home.
Absolutely.
So, all right, finally, to help wrap this up, snacks. Okay, we all have a craving. There's nothing worse
Sweets.
than 10
Sometimes
o'clock at
sweet.
night and you're like, man, I got the munchies, or I want something sweet, or after dinner you have to fill that. Tell me about what a good choice would look like to have as a healthy treat.
We have the Yoplait Greek yogurt bars. You're going to have only 80 calories in these, 4 grams of protein, so you're still getting a little bit of protein in there, and not too high on sugar. So this is something that you could have after dinner, just as a quick snack. We also have the tapioca pudding, 90 calories. There's no sugar added to this. Again, it's not too many calories right before going to bed that you're not able to burn off. The other thing that I really like to do is even just cut up strawberries or fresh fruit and drizzle a little bit of chocolate on top of that. That's a good snack as well. But something that's not too heavy, too high in sugar or carbs before going to bed.
Terrific. Well, I feel a little bit better. I feel a little bit worse. I know I've got some additional, I've got some additional shopping that I need to do. But I really appreciate your time here today, and I'm sure everyone else does as well. So Amanda, thank you again for joining us. We look forward to next month.
Congratulations on your weight
Thank you very
loss and
much.
your journey with making better choices.
Well, it's definitely a journey. So with that, we will see you next month. Bon appetit.
So what do you think?
3.
3?
3.
3 what?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, welcome back.
I'm
I was
sorry.
talking about my food segment.
It's my favorite number.
Okay, I was talking about shopping with Amanda.
Oh,
it was
that
really
was
good.
pretty cool. Yes.
That's easy. You know what's interesting, and let me just add this little piece on since we're back from our commercial
Okay.
break. Okay, and so. You know, I really enjoy the fact that she has done a great job with our employees, and she has really helped me tremendously, but really to the citizens out there, we wanted to show you that anybody can really do this. So, oh well, number 3. You can go back to your number 3 now. All right, let's talk about something that's really near and dear to a lot of people's hearts in the community, and that is Kids Kingdom. We have an interview coming up with Wayne Baxter to talk about the fundraising program. As you're probably aware, we had some issues with Kids Kingdom after an inspection, and very sadly, the park had to be torn down. And so we made a commitment to the citizens that we wanted to have it rebuilt. The parks, our Parks Department, our Parks Board actually has come forward and said we want to put forth a major fundraising effort to help do this. And we've had a lot of meetings so far to talk about it.
I'm Ken Romaine with the Rowlett Parks Advisory Board. I'm the co-chair along with Wayne Baxter. Here today to talk about Kids Kingdom Rebuild and what's been going on for the last about 8 months roughly. Currently the Kids Kingdom had been at Pecan Grove. It was tore down for safety issues last June-July timeframe, and we're in the process of raising funds to rebuild it. Currently we have the next major event is planned to be a Kids Design Day down at the Rec Center, date to be set sometime in April is the target. They'll let the children come in and their families and do a design, get the paper and crayons out, and do a drawings much like we did. We built Kaboom back in 2010. And at Design Day, it will not be the final design, but it will tell what play elements are needed for the park and what the kids desire. Back in August, the City Council and the Parks Advisory Board had a working meeting with City Council to discuss, the Kids Kingdom rebuild and possible locations for it. At that time, it was agreed upon by the City Council and the Parks Advisory Board that a good location at that point would be considering Hereford. The idea is that Hereford children at the Coyle School and in downtown Rowlett area could walk to the park, unlike putting it back at Pecan Grove where kids would have to cross 190. So at that point, Hereford was chosen as the desired location for the new Kids Kingdom to be built. Citizens have the opinion that both ways it could be at Hereford or at Pecan. And that really depends upon your choice and how you interact with City Council and the Parks Department and letting your voice be known. But currently the plan is to have it built at Hereford. You may notice around the city some of the thermometers showing the fundraising status. When we started back last August, the thought was about $350,000 would be needed to replace Kids Kingdom with a new structure of similar type and similar size. A little bit of investigation over the past many months and visiting other parks in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, it was determined that we were way off in the estimate. To do a wood composite structure like Kids Kingdom was all wood originally, doing wood composite so it would have a longer lifespan. The numbers of $500,000 to $750,000 are quite reasonable for that type of park. It's pretty high for the city of Rowlett. The Parks Advisory Board has been working on a steel plastic structure similar to what's at Kenwood Heights behind the Walmart. That type of structure in a comparable size, we're looking at possibly being able to do it for $150,000 to $200,000. Probably much more in the size of Rowlett can accomplish. Again, this is totally based upon the citizens' input. The citizens are willing to help raise funds and donations from citizens and businesses. But the current thing we're working at is something in the neighborhood of a plastic steel one, is one opinion, and the larger wow factor is another opinion, and it's all based on what we can take and raise. As for the fundraising, we really need your help. As you can see on the thermometer, City Council gave us initially $100,000 to start with to help start the seed money for rebuilding the park. We've raised in the last 6 to 8 months $9,000. This is from pancake breakfast at Applebee's. This is from the blue jugs you'll see around the city for donations. $9,000 extra is not enough to build a playground. We need a lot more help. We need it from citizens, we need it from businesses. So we're looking for your ideas. You're welcome to come visit us at the Parks Advisory Board meetings on the second Wednesday of the month at 7 p.m. at the Rec Center. Again, we're looking for ideas. We're looking for other methods of raising funds. And we just got to get more funds, and we're not going to be able to build this park the way we want to. Again, the best ways to donate for Rebuilding Kids Kingdom. The Rowlett Partners Foundation, it's a nonprofit, was set up several years ago to fund special activities in the parks, picnic tables, benches, etc., doing necessary repairs to help supplement the city's budget. But the Rowlett Partners Foundation is the primary funding vehicle to hold donations to be used for Rebuilding Kids Kingdom. So, Rowlett Partners Foundation is available on Facebook. It also can be reached through email address, which will be shown in this video at a later time. Other funding methods is Keep Rowlett Beautiful, known as KRB. Martha over there is doing a great job for us. She's the one actually picking up the blue jugs and collecting those funds and giving those over to the Partners Foundation to hold. That's where we get the $9,000 from that and the pancake breakfasts. And we've had one benefits last July at the Firewheel Brewery here in Rowlett, and there's another one coming up July 12th, another benefit for Kids Kingdom coming up this year in 2014, July 12th. We're really needing the citizens' help and businesses' help on donations. The two main ways to do donations, one is through the Partners Foundation here in Rowlett. They're available on Facebook, the Rowlett Partners Foundation. That is the people that's holding the funds for us to consolidate funds raised by the blue jugs that KRB does for us. They hold the funds for us from the pancake breakfast that we had at Applebee's. Also the funds from the Firewheel Brewery here in Rowlett. We had an event last 4th of July. There'll be an event July 12th of 2014 also held to raise funds. You're welcome to contact me, Ken Romaine. My email is kromaine13@gmail.com. Be glad to speak with you. Send me an email. You're also invited to join us at a Parks Advisory Board meeting on the second Wednesday of the month at the Rec Center at 7 p.m. We can talk to you before or after the meeting. During the meeting, we have some restrictions about open communications not being on the agenda per se, but we can also get you on the agenda if you ask us in advance. Look forward to your support, and let's get Kids Kingdom rebuilt.
Well, one of my favorite departments in the city,
The library.
the public library. That's right.
Mine
They do an
too.
amazing job. As a kid, I remember in the library, I was so overwhelmed by all the books and materials that they have, and it was like a kid going to the candy store, being able to read this stuff, and love the library. And these folks have done just a tremendous job. So we've got a lot going on, don't we?
We do, Mayor, and we're going to spring into reading this March by getting a free library card from the Rowlett Public Library. Contact the library at 972-412-6161. That is 6161 for information about how to obtain your free library card.
And here's one of my favorite people, Mary Lynn Saxton, with a full calendar of events going on at your Rowlett Public Library.
Hi, I'm Mary Lynn Saxton from the Rowlett Public Library, located at 3900 Main Street in downtown Rowlett. Spring into reading this March by getting a free library card from the Rowlett Public Library. Contact the library at 972-412-6161 for information about how to obtain your free library card. Celebrate the joy of reading with your children by attending free story times. Monday mornings are for the young and the restless, babies aged 0 to 2. Wednesday mornings are Giggle Wiggle story time for toddlers. Preschoolers have their own story times on Friday mornings with Shake, Rattle, and Read. And for grade school children, the Rowlett Public Library has a primetime book club at 4:00 p.m. on Thursdays. Everyone is invited to wear jammies, curl up, and listen to a wonderful sleepy time story on Thursday evenings at 7 p.m. with Pajama Story Time. Celebrate with your family on the first, second, and third Saturdays in March with movie plus popcorn, crafts, and games. The Saturday movie this month will be the PG-rated Legend of the Guardians, about a young owl seeking the legendary guardians to stop the evil owl army. Check the library's calendar or website for more information. The library is offering a variety of programs every day during spring break at 2 o'clock to keep students of all ages learning and engaged. Monday, March 10th, come and build a magic treehouse at the library. On Tuesday, stop in to learn all about scary weather. Wednesday will be all about locomotives and DART trains. On Thursday, explore your engineering skills with Legos. And Friday, come to the library and celebrate National Pie Day. Also, Saturday the 15th at 2 o'clock, there will be a special St. Patrick's Day celebration with the movie Darby O'Gill and the Little People, as well as free popcorn. The very popular Silver Cinema returns on Monday, March 3 at 2 o'clock p.m. in the meeting room. This month's treat is Rebecca, featuring Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine. Free and with popcorn too. Need more information? Check out our website or call the library at 972-412-6161. Come and spring into reading with us at the Rowlett Public Library.
Well, and we're back. Oh, sorry, we're back. Whoa, did you see that?
Oh my gosh, I heard that.
Wow, that's kind of scary. So we'll talk about bad weather. This is a good opening to our severe weather segment.
Gee whiz.
But this month, our fire marshal, boy, that was pretty bad. Our fire marshal, Brian Beckner, is going to be bringing us an interview with Chris Paulisert, our community emergency response team. And Chris is going to talk to us about severe weather in our area, which includes the risk of tornadoes and floods. And tornado is really one of our biggest fears, I think, in this community
Particularly
for
in this
things
area.
that could potentially happen.
Yes,
and
sir.
we've always been so fortunate. But so at some point, that luck runs out.
That's right.
So here's Brian Beckner with that interview.
In North Texas, we welcome the warmer temperatures and blossoming wildflowers that come with spring, but we should also be aware of the increased threat of dangerous weather. In fact, Texas Severe Weather Awareness Week is March 2nd through the 8th, and Flood Safety Awareness Week is March 16th through the 22nd. Why worry about thunderstorms? Well, let's talk about why you should consider thunderstorms a very real threat to our community. Lightning occurs with all thunderstorms and causes an average of 55 to 60 fatalities and over 400 injuries per year. Lightning costs more than $1 billion in insured losses annually. Tornadoes cause an average of 60 to 65 fatalities and 1,500 injuries annually. Tornadoes can produce wind speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour, can be over 1 mile wide, and stay on the ground for over 50 miles. Flash floods are the #1 cause of deaths associated with severe thunderstorms and cause more than 90 fatalities per year. Remember, turn around, don't drown. There are many areas of Rowlett that can become dangerous in the event of flooding. Never drive around barricaded areas. And let's not forget hail. Hail can be larger than softball size and annually causes more than $1 billion in crop and property damage annually. So how can you be better prepared for spring's threat of severe weather? Here are a few tips. Purchase and use a weather radio. Battery-operated weather radios are available at most major retailers, and many are designed to automatically alert you to warnings from the National Weather Service. Consider using a scanner or receiver that will allow you to listen to local Skywarn ham radio operators in your area. These storm spotters are relied upon by the National Weather Service to give valuable and life-saving reports on storms as they happen. And build a family emergency kit. There are many sources on the internet for what your kit could and should include. One of the best is ready.gov. I mentioned ready.gov, but some other excellent severe storm preparation information is available at the site for the National Weather Service, which is weather.gov, and the American Red Cross at redcross.org. Lastly, consider educating yourself as well as serving your community by attending training and joining the Rowlett Community Emergency Response Team. We offer training classes at least twice a year and stand at the ready to respond to severe weather events in Rowlett. For more information, go to rowlettcert.com. Get educated, prepare a kit, monitor the situation, and keep yourself and your loved ones safe this spring. This has been Chris Paul with the Rowlett CERT, and I look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Well, I was going to let you do this one.
Okay. Where your money goes.
It was okay. It's more like where your money goes. That's right.
Where your money goes.
You know what this whole segment is about, right? It's really focused on taking the $8.65 surcharge that's on the water bill, and we made a conscious effort to make sure that the citizens, and again under full transparency, so they know exactly where their money goes every single month.
The Schrady Sanitary Sewer Lift Station has been in service on the east side of Rowlett since 1994. Through its years of service, the wet well, dry well piping, and discharge header have deteriorated toward critical condition. 2 of the 4 pumps and 1 wet well had to be taken out of service due to extreme leaking and near failure. At that point, the lift station's pumping capacity was cut in half. The concrete walls had badly deteriorated to the point where reinforcing steel was exposed. This condition will require mortar buildup before any protective coating can be applied. The discharge header had to be replaced due to piping deterioration from hydrogen sulfide gases. The project began in early December of 2013 and is expected to be complete in March of 2014.
All right, another one of my favorite segments again.
Technology.
Technology tips. That's right, with Phil Barrett. And you know what's really cool? I think this is great because he's done such a really great job. But did you ever know that every Tuesday this month at the library is Tech Ed Tuesday?
It is, Mayor. And on March 4th, we're having basic computer security. On March 11th, he is going to cover LinkedIn.
Oh, that's really cool. I'm using that too more and more every day.
Are you?
It's amazing. Yeah, it works out really well. But you really have to get the hang of it. So it takes someone to kind of teach you what is LinkedIn, and it's a great, it's a really cool resource. It really is. And March 18th?
Free alternatives to popular software.
And March 25th?
Online job searching.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Well, it teaches, and I'll tell you what, there's a lot of sites out there, and it takes a tremendous amount of time. So it's important as people go through this that they learn how to use that. So Phil Barrett's going to be helping us with that. So Phil, take it away.
Tablets and smartphones may not have had as many problems with malware as regular personal computers and laptops do. However, it's important to remember that they are computers and so have some of the same vulnerabilities. Just like with your home computer or laptop, it's important to do what you can to keep your phones and tablets protected. You're probably familiar with some of the signs that your computer is infected with malware. It may run more slowly, or programs may work more erratically. Similar signs exist for malware on smartphones and tablets. If your device isn't working as fast as you're used to, or if your battery life is draining faster than you think it should, you may have trouble with malware on your device. Similarly, if your data or text message usage goes up, the reason may be that a shifty third party has used malware to hijack your phone. Malware gets on phones and tablets in a variety of ways. Sometimes it comes from a suspicious link sent through an email or text message. It can also come from installing bad apps on your device. These bad apps may just gather personal information, such as location history or websites you visit on your phone. Others may try to hijack your phone and use it for some suspicious purpose. The way you avoid malware on your portable devices is similar to avoiding it on your computer. The best thing you can do is approach websites and programs with a healthy dose of skepticism. Never download files if you're not confident in the source. Don't click on links that come from unfamiliar email addresses or phone numbers. Furthermore, be careful of the apps that you download. Only download apps from the approved app store of your device. Apple has been very good about keeping malware out of its store. Google's been less successful at keeping out bad apps, but you're still better off getting apps through the Play Store than just off the internet. When you find an app you want, always take a minute to read some of the app's user reviews. You'll be able to see some of the problems other people have had with that app. You can also check if the developer has created anything else and what kind of reviews those other apps have gotten. Sometimes other people's experiences with the app can clue you into the types of problems you may experience with it. Just by being careful, you can save yourself a lot of trouble. If you like, there are also malware protection programs you can install. Malwarebytes and Avast have been making free, well-regarded antivirus and anti-malware programs for computers for a while. Now they both have mobile versions of their software available to download. Avast has apps for both Android and iOS, but Malwarebytes anti-malware is only on Android. Lookout Mobile Security is another option that has received a lot of positive attention. It is available on both Android and iOS devices. These programs offer different features, but the upshot is they provide an extra layer of protection for your mobile device. To learn more about this or other technology topics, please visit us at the Rowlett Public Library. In addition to materials to help you learn, we offer a variety of tech ed programs and even one-on-one sessions to help you out. Thank you.
Welcome to March Rowlett. Are you ready for spring break? Because the Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department is. The SOAR Spring Breakout Program is a perfect program for your 11 to 14-year-olds from March 10th to the 14th. This camp is active, fun, and educational. Every day brings a new theme of activities to ensure they never get bored. The program will be offered from 7:30 a.m. until 6:30 p.m. on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday during spring break week. The fee is $15 per day, so get registered early to reserve your spot. Kids Night Out will be taking place on Friday, March 14th from 6 p.m. until 8:30 p.m. at the Rowlett Community Center. This is a high-energy evening that is full of Lego entertainment. Children ages 5 to 12 are welcome. Pizza, games, and projects will be provided. The fee is only $20. Little Athletes is a parent and child multi-sport class for 3 to 5-year-olds that teaches the skills needed for soccer, baseball, and basketball. It is a great way to spend more time with your children, help them develop sports skills, and have a terrific time. This 4-week class starts on Thursday, March 20th, and runs until April 10th. The fee is only $35. Skyhawk Sports will be offering a variety of sports programs for your children starting in early April. Softball, baseball, soccer, and track and field will all be offered at a rate of $60 for 6 classes. Softball and baseball will be held on Friday evenings starting on April 4th. Soccer and track and field will take place on Wednesdays starting on April 2nd. These programs will focus on fun while teaching the fundamentals of each sport. This spring is a busy time for seniors as well. On Thursday, March 13th, a potluck social will be held at the Rowlett Community Center. Please pre-register and bring a dish to share to go along with the pizza that will be provided. On Thursday, March 20th, from 10 a.m. until 3 p.m., seniors are invited to take a trip to the Dallas Arboretum. For the price of $10, you will have the chance to see one of the most beautiful attractions in Dallas that features 66 acres of gardens, flowers, shrubs, trees, and plants. There is a restaurant on site and lunch is on your own. The lunch around town will be held on Tuesday, March 25th at Napoli's, starting at 11:30 a.m. This is a great opportunity to meet new people and visit with longtime friends while experiencing the taste and social scene around the community of Rowlett. Senior Health Fair will be held on Tuesday, April 8th from 9 a.m. until 12 noon at the Rowlett Community Center. This event is free admission. In addition to the free door prizes and free screenings, over 40 vendors will be on site to explain their services and programs, all with a senior focus. These may include home health care, retirement communities, doctors, pharmacies, and specialty organizations that have the latest information on different diseases. The Senior Health Fair is provided by the Senior Advisory Board of Rowlett in conjunction with the Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department. On Wednesday, April 9th from 10 a.m. until 1 p.m., seniors are invited to take a trip to the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas. You will be exposed to interactive exhibits and multimedia displays while you learn about the Federal Reserve, money, and the economy. The fee is $10. This spring might as well be called Parks and Recreation season, with all of the events taking place. On Saturday, April 12th, from 10 a.m. until 12 p.m., the Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department invites you to grab your Easter basket and hop on over to Main Street to hunt for over 20,000 treat-filled Easter eggs on the library lawn. Enjoy face painting, bounce houses, photos with the Easter Bunny, and much more. Egg hunts are categorized by age groups and scheduled at various times throughout the event. There will also be a social media contest taking place. Event participants are encouraged to post pictures while at the event to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using hashtag RowlettPARD or Rowlett Egg Hunt. The Rowlett Parks and Recreation staff will vote on the best picture. The winner of the contest will be contacted the following Friday through the social media outlet that the picture was posted for details on how to collect their prize. Woof, woof! On the very next day, Sunday, April 13th, the Easter Palooza will be held at Herforth Park from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is an Easter egg hunt for dogs of all sizes. The entry fee is $10 per dog. There will be fun games and awesome prizes. Just like the Easter egg hunt downtown, this event will also have a couple of contests taking place. Dress your dog up as someone famous for the chance to win the best look-alike contest, or in a bonnet to win the best bonnet contest. This event will also have a social media contest taking place. Event participants are encouraged to post pictures while at the event to Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram using hashtag RowlettPARD and hashtag RowlettPalooza. The Rowlett Parks and Recreation staff will vote on the best picture. The winner of the contest will be contacted the following Friday through the social media outlet that the picture was posted for details on how to collect their prize. Please remember to bring your Easter basket, leash, and a proof of rabies vaccination. Do you like to fish? Come on out to the Community Park Pond on Saturday, April 26th from 9 a.m. until 12 p.m. for the annual Kid Fish event. This is a fishing derby for all ages. Prizes and trophies will be awarded for the first fish caught and the longest fish caught in 3 different age groups. This is a free event. Do you have what it takes to build a boat made out of cardboard well enough to prevent it from sinking? Come on out and put your skills to the test at the first ever Rowlett Cardboard Boat Regatta that will be taking place on Saturday, April 26th from 1:30 p.m. until 3:30 p.m. after Kid Fish at the Community Park Pond. This is a great team building activity for schools, churches, local businesses, and families. The fee is $40 per team if you register by April 1st and $60 if you register after April 1st. Please visit the Rowlett Community Center at 5300 Main Street to register your team and to pick up your cardboard. Call 972-412-6170 for more info. Yes, you heard me right. People will actually be racing boats made out of cardboard across the pond. This is something you will not want to miss. Are you a social media fanatic? To keep up with all the programs, events, and contests offered by the Rowlett Parks and Recreation Department, please like us on Facebook at City of Rowlett Parks and Recreation. Follow us on Instagram at Rowlett Parks and Rec and on Twitter at Rowlett Parks and Rec. For additional information, please contact the Rowlett Community Center at 972-412-6170 or visit us on the web www.rowlett.com/Parks and Rec.
This is always the sad time of the show. It's over.
Yes, as we're in closing.
Depending on who's watched it, otherwise people are
Right.
saying, "Thank God it's over." But yes, but to all those who have tuned in today's program and have tuned to watch Rowlett on the Water on the Move, thank you very,
Thank
very
you
much
very,
for
very
watching.
much.
You know, we really appreciate it. And your emails, we want your suggestions. So you can email us or you can call us, of course, with your suggestions. That's such an important part because we want the feedback. That's the only way we get feedback if we're doing a good job or not. And a special thanks to our communication staff, Drew Rist and Dee Parent, who assisted with today's broadcast. So until next time.
Thank you for watching Rowlett on the Water on the Move. It's been our pleasure.
Summer is finally here. What should I do today now that school is out? What's that up in the sky? It looks like some kind of rocket ship or spaceship, and it's falling. Wow, I wonder what that was. Hello? Hello? Anybody there? Hey, were you in that thing that crashed? Are you all right?
Greetings, Earthling. I am not injured.
Earthling? Hey, you must be a spaceman from another planet.
I come in peace, Earthling. My name is Yimmy, and I come from the 5th planet from the sun.
Let's see, that must be Jupiter, right?
Yes, but in my language, we pronounce our planet name as Jupiter. We cannot pronounce the letter J.
Ha ha ha, that's really funny.
What are you called, Earthling?
My name is Jackie.
Since I cannot pronounce the letter J, I am unable to say your name correctly. I must pronounce your name as Yaki instead of Jackie.
Wait, you just said Jackie.
That is impossible. J does not exist in my language.
Never mind. You can call me Yaki. Why are you here, Yimmy?
I have come to observe transportation methods of the Earth. At Jupiter, we have only rocket ships and astrobelts, and our sky is becoming overly crowded. Can you show me how people of Earth get around?
I sure can, Yimmy. The Earth has many different types of transportation. Follow me. This is where we go to take a train or a bus. They both carry large number of people.
Do these vehicles fly?
No, they move over the ground on wheels. But we have airplanes that fly. Look, there goes one now.
Fascinating. So these vehicles, can they carry a large number of people?
Yes.
But what if a person wants to go somewhere by themselves?
Well, they can walk or they can drive in a car.
Walk. What an interesting concept. I am so excited, Yaki. Where can I learn more? I am willing to pay anything. I have brought many bags of Jupiter Yules, which is our planet's currency.
I can show you where to get more information. Here comes the bus. Let's go.
What is this great place? Is this where they guard the great knowledge of your planet?
No, this is the library. No one guards the knowledge of Earth. It is available to anyone who wants it.
May I help you find something?
Yes, my friend from outer space would like to find information on transportation.
Of course. Would you like the history of transportation or something like the current bus schedule?
Everything you got. I hope I brought enough Jupiter Yules to pay for all this.
Oh, you won't need any money. Everything at the library is free. We also offer a wonderful summer reading program called Fizz Boom Read.
Please tell us all about it.
There will be prizes for reading, exciting programs and movies, including special programs for teens and a rubber ducky club for babies.
And it's all free? This is beyond my wildest imagination. I must tell my commander of this wonderful discovery. Is there a place on this planet where I may connect to your system you call internet?
You can do that right here.
Oh, Yaki, thanks to you and this marvelous place called the library, my planet is saved. We must start our own library there. Would you like to come with me to my planet and help us start it?
Sure, you betcha. But one thing, Yimmy, will you please try and call me Jackie?
Of course. I will study hard and learn your language so I can pronounce the letter J. I want to make my new Earth friend happy.
Okay then, we need to get back in time for the summer reading program, so let's go!
Fire!